Let's go, Daniel Lang. I have the pleasure of introducing my buddy, my business partner, Daniel Lang, based out of Dallas, Texas. His partner, Judy Ratsami, is actually on the call as well. So, Judy, feel free to chime in anytime you'd like. Um, Daniel is coming up on 2 years here with EXP. And I could have had the pleasure of co-hosting, or Daniel actually is going to take the lead tonight on the revenue share quick start. In less than 2 short years, Daniel has introduced this business personally to 18 agents on his level 1, on his tier 1, all right, and a total of 140 in his revenue share organization. So I couldn't think of a better person to share, to teach about revenue share growth and how he does it than Mr. Daniel Lang. Go ahead, man. The mic is yours.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Hope you guys had a great Christmas. Happy holidays. 2022 is almost over. The excitement about building a team and building this real estate club, this what we call revenue share organization. I call it a real estate club because I'm on the commercial real estate side, and building a club for syndicating deals, finding opportunities, and just finding good partners, right? Just replicating our other leaders and finding good partners. So, one of our leaders, Scott Lewis, he talks about the 5 steps of agent attraction, right? And it's important to understand these simple steps, keeping KISS, right? Keeping it simple, stupid, right? And he talks about the 5 steps. I know Tom has 6. It's the same thing, right? What is number 1? Right? People who are on this call, you guys are in the platform. Do you want to be not excited? Or when you're talking to somebody, you have to be excited, right? That's number 1 for the 5 step of agent attraction. If you're not showing excitement, you're not going to be able to attract anything, right? This is a very key component. Well, once you're excited, what happens, right? What is the next step in the 5 steps that Scott talks about? He talks about you have to have a big list of agents, right? Your sphere agents. You just have to have that list. Just like in your real estate career, you're looking for clients. You're going to have a list. Same thing for your organization. If you're trying to build a team, build nationwide, build globally, you're going to have to have a massive list. Not just you, but your team members, right? It's about duplication, right? You want to make sure everyone has that big list. Well, once you have a list, what's next? Got to have goals, right? Are you trying to build a team of 100 people, 1,000, 10,000? What is it? You have to have your goals. So Rob Flick, one of our leaders as well, had created the wealth chart, and I'll post on the chat the YouTube video and the wealth chart so you guys can download that. I know a lot of people on my team, they don't have this downloaded. Have this on your wall. You need to see your goals every day. I know Judy has it on her mirror. I know some other team members have it. It's important, right? Judy has told me that she wants to have 100 people this year in her group. And I said, okay, where's your list, right? Where's your wealth chart? How are you going to get there? It's very important. So once you have your goals set, you have to have your 4th one is exposure. Exposure to what? Exposure to the model, exposure to you, exposure to your team, right? And if you're not ready to explain the model, Jack, what did he just do? He explained the whole model for you. Invite them to these Zoom calls, to our leadership calls that we provide, right? If you're not ready to explain the model, send them to your team. We have leadership that are doing this every week. Big Win Wednesday, season 2. What is Tom? What is Tony? What are we doing to help you guys grow your team? We're helping to explain it. Another thing is events, right? Exposure, doing these, not these so-called EXP events, but doing events for helping agents in the community to do better in production, right? If they see that you're helping out, they see that culture, they see who you are, you're building up that rapport with them. So the 5th step that we go through is FU, right? Follow up. This is really important, right? Because if you don't follow up with the agent that you're talking to, and you're always worried about, oh, well, I don't want to bombard them. I don't want to bombard them. You know what? That agent is coming to EXP either through you or through somebody else. I've had that happen, and it's more than 30 times. People have joined EXP through other people because I didn't follow up. And hey, if you want them on your team and your business, in your organization, then you have to follow up. Another thing we talk about is, the Ford system, right? When you're talking to an agent or to somebody, my daughter just came to the office today. So, hold on one second, my camera.
Ford. What does Ford stand for, guys? Ford. Wow, hello. How are you?
Say hi.
Hi, I'm Tom.
What's your name?
Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth. I love it.
Another thing
All right,
in
guys.
your organization is what's your why,
Yeah.
right? But you go to the Ford system where, what does that mean? What does the F stand for? Family, right? If you want to talk about family, right? Get to know somebody. The O stands for occupation. What did they do in the past? Get to know them. R under the Ford is recreation. What do they like to do? Right? Do they like doing marathons? Right? Get them to something to talk about on themselves. And then D, dreams. What are their goals, their dreams? Right? This is important. If you have nothing to talk about, just do that very simple thing, and you can find a topic. And the thing is, you're just getting to know them, right? When we're doing agent attraction, we just want to get to know that other person and be real. Like Jack mentioned about, or actually the other gentleman that was doing the icon series, be authentic, right? This is very important. Set up those meetings, right? And do 3-way meetings, right? Tom's here, Tony's here, your sponsor, whoever it is, get them on a 3-way chat, 3-way call. This is going to help you tremendously, right? I was at the beginning of my journey with the organization, I would have Tom on every call. Now my team, like Judy, she gets me. I'm the person like Tom. Now what we're doing, R&D, rip off and duplicate, right? Now in the future, when Judy's growing her team members will contact Judy and they will get on. And it just continues on and on and on. Going back to what I'm doing in my organization is creating a real estate club. Our club is called We Partners Network. And what is my value prop in our club is we're putting different entrepreneurs that are licensed that join EXP through us, right? But we're creating a club of kind of like a country club, right? Finding people who are adding value to our organization, right? To syndicate deals, to grow our business, to learn different things. And everyone here is in EXP. I think we need to explain revenue share better, right? I think there's a lot of people who don't know how to explain revenue share. So I'm gonna kind of share my screen, and we talk about 10 get 10, right? And I think it's really important for everyone to understand the math. So I believe you guys see my screen, right? Let me see if it's working. You guys see my screen?
Sure can.
Okay. So, I'm just going to pull the EXP Realty model. We all know that everyone's on an 80-20 split. So $80,000 GCI, right? Times 20% equals that 16,000. We all know our splits and our caps, right? And when you're explaining this, I always put this as I'm in 0 and I'm getting a tier 1. Well, if this tier 1 is equal to 3.5%, we all know the math is $2,800, right? And we always talk about finding leaders. This is important. If you can find 10 strong leaders in your organization, that is what you can do to R&D, rip off and duplicate the model. I can go to real estate school every day and pull up agents all day long. But is that going to be duplication? No, because you're going to be managing agents. Your goal in this business is finding your leaders. So if you get 10 leaders, and if they're all producing and they're capping, that's $28,000. We go to tier 2 now. Well, tier 2 is equal to 4%, and that is equal to $3,200. Well, if your 10 are leaders, you know that they're going to, and you're going to help them. You know that finding 10 leaders, helping them get 10 each, that equals to 100 people. That is $320,000. This is $348K passive residual income. And if you can understand this math and show people the power of revenue share, not a MLM, right? Building your own team, building the team together. And the thing is, you always say, well, maybe they're half producing, then you get half of that revenue, right? You got a lot of people say, well, what if you're attracting agents that aren't producing? Well, don't attract agents that aren't producing. Find your leaders, right? I mean, yes, like I said, you can go to the real estate school and find people and just try it out. And hopefully they'll do some stuff. No, I'm looking for people who are in production. You have the MLS, you can see their production in your MLS, right? So everyone has that tool. But this is just tier 1 and 2. This can be a 1-year goal, can be a 5-year goal, it can be a 10-year goal. It's up to you. So you have to make sure that you have your goal set. And we did this in a year and a half, right? Having that organization and continuing on, right? So I found my leaders, the leaders have grown, the leaders are starting to add more people, and you just continue on. So there's a thing about agent attraction or building your organization. Don't think too much. Just continue to build. Scott Lewis, Gene Frederick, they said, just continue to talk to people. If they're not ready, move on. Our goal for agent attraction is making sure we're explaining correctly, not recruiting, explaining the model correctly. Because I hear all the time, oh, I've heard the EXP. I even told Tom, like, I understand it, and I shut him off 5 years ago. That was me, ego, right? But if a person's willing to sit down with you for 1 hour, you only have 1 hour with them, maybe less. You want to explain it correctly. And then also give them value where, like, let them start thinking, how can they apply this platform to their business? Once you can get them start to think, then that's where they're going to be, figuring out how to leverage the platform. And for you yourself, you got to provide value too. You just don't bring people on and don't give them support, right? You also have to make sure you have a supporting system. It's your business, right? It's your retail store. What are you doing to, boost up your retail store, adding value? So, Tom, anything you want to add? I know,
Perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. So Daniel went through the 5 steps, all right, of agent attraction. Hopefully you guys all took notes. So why don't we do this? Let's just open it up for questions. Who's got questions about building revenue share? Who's got objections that they want some help with objection handling? Who's got some questions about maybe scripting or whatever? What's on your mind, folks? You're here still on a late Wednesday night to learn about revenue share and how to build your organization. What's on your mind? We're here for you. Open mic. Yes, sir, Daniel. Tony, you've built an organization. What else would you like to add about the steps?
Well, I'm going to learn from someone who's built a lot bigger organization here at EXP than I have, and that's you. I'm always curious to know what leaders are doing to influence, aka lead, the organization on a consistent basis. So as a leader of a team of, bigger than 99% of the brokerages in America, Tom,
right?
What do you do with your leaders, like the top shelf, the people that are driving either the growth, the production? What are you doing on a consistent basis that pretty much they can set their clock on?
Great question.
It's just something Tom's going to do. We know it. I'd love to know what you do.
Sure. I use Reach a lot, Tony and everybody. All right. So for those who don't know Reach, it's an app. It is now available on both Android and Apple users. Pay, I don't know how much it costs, but it's whatever, it's cheap. Thank you. $5 a month or something. I pay for that and use Reach. And I have everyone my level 1 on my tier 1 on all in one Reach, all 84 of them I have, right? And then I also have all of my qualifiers on my tier 1 as one-on-one. And I have my non-qualifiers on a third Reach. So that's my priority, is making sure my tier 1s are getting my and Marissa's attention, my wife's attention. Okay, they would hear from me, like the qualifiers would hear from me once a month, and then the non-qualifiers would hear from Marissa that month. The next month we flip-flop, so they're hearing from each of us every other month. Got it?
Yeah. That's good.
And then we basically reach out to them. Hey, you're crushing this business. How can I help you? What else can we do more of? Right? Or you're not crushing the business. What can we help you with? Right? And of course, they always know if we're constantly talking to them, like Dorothy and I are always texting each other. She's on the call here. I don't need to reach out to her. I don't need to text her a special message, right? She knows to find me. If she needs me, she texts me right away, or Marissa. So not a problem. Now, we have a website, Agents Get Free, at the end of my name there, agentsgetfree.com. By the way, whether you're in my organization or not, you're all welcome to get to the back office of my website. That's where we have all of our agent attraction script training, the important videos that Daniel shared in the chat earlier, the onboarding for all 50 states, the onboarding for commercial. We're beginning to build onboarding for international, as we are now in 5 different countries. So you'll find out that all in there. And so Tony, instead of an agent, one of our leaders calling me and texting me, or Marissa, or any of the leaders all the time, where do I find this? Where do I find that? After a while, they stop asking me, because what do you think my answer is?
Website.
Go to website, agentsgetfree.com.
Yeah.
And if they text me and I don't have it in agentsgetfree.com, then I would, of course, get them the answer, and then immediately, Tony, get it to my executive assistants to upload it into my website to update the website. Got it? So that's a living, breathing website for all of our team to access, and for anyone who joins these calls and gets access to it. My executive assistants have been authorized to give access to everybody. That we're one family, one dream, one team. Okay. Within the workplace group, I actually have 4 different extra workplace groups. The workplace group called Agents Get Free, where basically 1,100 agents are invited to join, and that's how they get communications about Big Win Wednesday, about our other commercial calls, our KB Core training, our live in-person meetings here and there. Okay. And then I have 3 more groups. I have my betas, my leaders, and my the third group. Betas, leaders, help me out.
Not alphas, but
not alphas. I don't have other builder, leader, and beta. Right. Thank you, Tony. So I have the builders in another group, the leaders in another group, and the betas in another group, and they get special treatment. Right, they get extra stuff. Like, if you don't have at least 10 people personally sponsored, I'm not going to bombard you with stuff that's too high level, because you haven't gotten the basics down yet. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And then, of course, I have another Reach app called My Icons. So my executive assistants are constantly updating these lists. So I know who my icons are. I know who my cappers are, right? And our executive assistants basically continually do recognition. A lot of my social media posts are recognizing, if you just joined the organization, welcome. If you just close your first transaction, congratulations. If you just capped, congratulations. If you just hit icon, congratulations, and all of the anniversary posts. And so they know that I'm in constant communication. They know that we're watching, Tony, and it just keeps the camaraderie up.
Thank you. Appreciate
Did that help?
Very helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's always great to hear how other leaders think.